The sun sits high in the sky, and the garden hums with the quiet energy of midsummer. July is when flowers are at their boldest, yet it's also when the heat begins to take its toll. Petals that once stood proudly now droop, soil turns dry and cracked, and weeds creep in, quietly competing for space. But this is the perfect moment for transformation, a time to breathe new life into a tired flower bed and create a burst of color that will carry the garden into late summer with renewed beauty. The overhaul begins with a deep look at what's thriving and what's struggling. Every flower bed tells a story. Some blooms have fought hard to survive, while others have flourished with little care. In this corner, faded petunias whisper their last goodbye, their once bright blooms now pale shadows of spring. Across the bed, resilient marigolds blaze in gold, holding their ground against the heat. This honest assessment is the first step, knowing what to keep, what to remove, and where new life is needed most. As the spade sinks into the soil, there's a rhythm to the work: lift, turn, shake, clear. The weeds don't go without resistance, roots run deep, tangling with the flower's own. Each pull feels like freeing the bed from what's been quietly draining it of its energy. This is more than just tidying, it's giving space back to the flowers that deserve it, a chance for air, light, and nutrients to reach them again. The soil itself becomes the heart of the transformation. In July's heat, it needs more than just water, it needs to be refreshed, enriched, and loosened. As compost is worked in, the bed begins to smell of earth and life again. Nutrient-rich and dark, it's a promise of what's to come. This is where the magic begins, hidden beneath the surface, ready to push new growth upward. Next comes the careful selection of plants to bring the bed back to its peak. The goal is to blend textures, colors, and heights so the bed feels layered and full. Vibrant zinnias, with the bold reds and pinks, are chosen to draw the eye. Lush lavender adds a touch of elegance, its soft purple blooms swaying gently in the breeze. Trailing petunias spill over the edge, softening the lines, while tall salvia spikes stand like sentinels, giving structure to the whole display. Each plant is chosen not just for beauty, but for resilience. July's sun is unforgiving, and every addition must be able to thrive under it. The planting itself is deliberate. Each hole is dug deep enough to welcome roots comfortably, and every flower is given space to spread. As they are set in, it's like placing pieces into a living mosaic. Every angle matters, every grouping tells part of the story. The layering ensures that no matter where you stand, your eyes are met with interest: tall blooms in the back, lush middles, and gentle draping at the front. Once the flowers are in place, mulching becomes the bed's final armor. A generous layer locks in moisture, shields roots from heat, and keeps weeds from reclaiming the ground. The warm scent of fresh mulch blends with the floral notes in the air, and the whole bed begins to look complete, almost as if it's been this way all along. But the transformation isn't only about the physical changes, it's about the feeling the space creates. By late afternoon, as the sun dips just enough to soften its glare, the garden glows. The reds seem richer, the purples deeper, and the greens more vibrant. Bees flit between blooms, their hum adding music to the moment. There's a quiet satisfaction in standing back, taking it all in, and knowing the effort has given this bed a second life. The final touch is water, not a hurried sprinkle, but a deep, slow soak. The soil drinks it in, and the plants seem to stand taller in response, as if already grateful. This ritual not only refreshes them but seals in the work done today, setting the stage for the weeks ahead. By the time evening arrives, the transformation feels complete. The flower bed that once looked weary now bursts with color and life. It's not just about making the garden beautiful, it's about keeping it alive, thriving, and full of energy well into the season. A garden in July can either fade into tiredness or bloom with renewed strength, and today, this bed chose to bloom. As the day closes, there's a deeper lesson in the overhaul. Gardens mirror life. They need attention, care, and sometimes a complete reset to bring out the best. Neglect can creep in quietly, but with a little focus and effort, even the most tired corners can be turned into something extraordinary. In the days that follow, the payoff begins to show. Butterflies drift in, drawn to the bright petals. Neighbors pause at the fence to admire the sudden burst of beauty. Every time the bed is watered or tended, it's a reminder that July doesn't have to be the end of the garden's glory. It can be a moment for rebirth. Midsummer might be a challenge for gardeners, but it's also an opportunity. When others see heat and fading blooms, a gardener sees possibility. And with the right vision, effort, and the willingness to get their hands dirty, even the hottest days can produce a display that stops people in their tracks. In the end, the overhaul isn't just about saving flowers, it's about creating a space that makes you feel something every time you look at it. Pride, peace, joy, and maybe even a little awe. That's the real reward of a flowerbed transformation in July. So, whether it's the first overhaul of the season or one of many, each time the spade hits the soil, it's a chance to create something beautiful that wasn't there before. This is why we garden, not just to grow plants, but to grow beauty, to grow joy, and to grow moments worth remembering.